Hello, I'm Mark Andrews, General Manager of Roller Equipment Manufacturing Company, Incorporated. The purpose of this instructional video is to give you an overview of the features and operation of the TPB 3100T thermoplastic strip builder. We're going to accomplish this by actually building a roller with thermoplastic urethane and let you observe the process. First, an overview of the machine. The major components of the machine consists of a spin station, in this case with a 50-inch diameter capacity and 120-inch length capacity. The heart of the thermoplastic strip builder is this extruder. It's a 3-inch thermoplastic extruder with a 40 horsepower drive, 24:1 L/D screw, and multiple temperature control zones. Another important part of the thermoplastic strip builder is the applicator system. That consists of the applicator head, the conveyor belt, which conveys the thermoplastic material to the applicator head, and the applicator controls. Another component of the thermoplastic strip builder is the platform, which is track mounted and carries the extruder and applicator along the face of the roller as the thermoplastic material is being applied. Another important component of the thermoplastic building process is this dryer, which has a 400-pound material hopper. It's used to both store and remove moisture from the thermoplastic material. The dried thermoplastic material is conveyed from the dryer through this hose to the extruder hopper. This extruder-mounted loader is also equipped with an optional color feeder. The last major component of the thermoplastic strip builder is the control panel itself. One of the most important features of the control panel are the temperature zone settings. These temperature controllers control the feed section, the 2 zones of the transition section, 2 zones of the metering section, and the die head. This readout tells you the strip temperature. That completes the overview of the features and components of the thermoplastic strip building machine. Next, we're going to show you the operation of the machine by applying a thermoplastic urethane to a typical industrial roller. To do this, we're going to turn the remainder of this tape over to Brian Myers, our service manager.
Hello, my name is Brian Myers. Today I'm going to be stepping you through the processes of thermoplastic roll builder. Today we're going to be using a 55 Shore D thermoplastic urethane. We're going to be loading it into the dryer and then continuing the process from there. One of the major differences between thermoplastic roll building and rubber roll building is the material. Rubber comes in a strip, whereas the thermoplastic is actually in a pellet form. Alright, we're going to begin loading the material into the dryer. To do that, place the probe in the material, turn on the loader. Once we've loaded adequate material into the dryer, we're now ready to turn it on. The dryer comes with a timer and temperature controller. We've set this one for 180 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. Multiple hoppers can be used to store various materials that can be used throughout the day. To begin the process, we're going to take the strainer plate and install a screen. This will supply adequate back pressure as well as strain out any foreign particles that might be in the material. Next, we're going to take the strainer plate, install it into the die head, and close the die head up. And now we want to tighten the clamp bolt. We're now going to set the temperature zones. The feed zone we're going to set to 200. Zone number 1 of the barrel we're going to set to 380 degrees. Zone 2 is going to be 400. Zone 3 is going to be 400. And Zone 4 is going to be 410. We're going to set the die head at 420. The next step of the process will be to load the roller. After loading the roller, we want to put the machine in manual mode, engage the joystick, and travel down to the starting point on the roll. We're now going to use the forward button to move the extruder in to where the applicator head comes in contact with the face of the roll. With the applicator head still touching the roller, we're going to want to now reset the diameter indicator. When this is zeroed out, it will show the thickness of the material that's being applied to the roll. Next, we want to set our set point controller. This will determine the overlap percentage and the thickness that the material is put on the roll. Our next step will be to turn on the power loader. This will transfer the material from the dryer to the mouth of the extruder. Our next step will be to turn on the extruder, and we're going to turn the speed up and fill the barrel with the material. Once the barrel's full and the material's coming out of the head, we want to allow a small amount to run out to ensure that there are no contamination and that the strip is good and clean, melted, ready to go. The material that runs out can be recycled and reused at a later time. Our next step will be to install the conveyor belt. This will be used to convey the hot material up to the applicator head. Our next step will be to engage the spindle. This will turn your applicator roll, which will in turn drive the applicator belt. Now we want to put the machine in build mode, preset our extruder speed for 50%, and press the power button. You're going to take the strip, guide it onto the applicator belt, bring it up between the two applicator rolls, and apply it to the roll. At this point, I need to make sure that my speed of my extruder and the speed of the belt are the same. I will now engage the traverse and begin traveling across the face of the roll. Here we have the high and the low pressure regulators. These regulate the amount of pressure that's being applied at the applicator arm. They can be adjusted using these knobs, and they can be selected by using this high and low pressure switch. For the second pass, we're going to apply colorant to the material. To do this, simply turn on the color feeder, select the ratio, press the run button. Once we reach the end of the roll, I'm going to put my joystick in neutral, keep my spin running, turn off my extruder, reverse directions, and lower my air pressure. We'll continue running it back across the surface of the roll until we have a nice smooth surface, and then we'll retack the head, and we're finished. Now that we've finished building the roll, we're going to want to leave it in the spin station for a short period of time. This will allow it to cool, harden, and prevent the material from sagging off the roll. Final step is to clean out the extruder and apply the clean out material. First, we want to back the extruder away from the roll. This allows us more room down at the head. Once we've moved it back, turn on the extruder, run the existing material out the head, and then we'll go apply the clean out material. To apply the clean out material, we're going to remove the loader nozzle from the dryer, place it in the clean out material, start up the loader, and then let it run through the barrel. Once we've filled the barrel with clean out material and it starts to extrude out the head, we can then turn off the extruder and let it cool off. The remaining clean out material left in the barrel will stay there, cool down, and then be removed the next time the extruder is heated up and operated. Now that we've finished with the roll, we can remove it from the spin station, and in 24 hours it'll be ready to grind.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Snell, Sales Manager for Roller Equipment Manufacturing Company. Thank you for taking the time to watch our thermoplastic roll builder operational video. We hope you've gained some insight and some knowledge in terms of its features and what the machine actually does. We hope too that you remember that this machine, when you build with thermoplastic materials, the materials are completely recyclable, no molds, they offer a very quick turnaround time, and no post-cure. If you'd like further information on the thermoplastic roll builder, please contact Roller Equipment Manufacturing Company at 816-966-8717. Thank you.